This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at all. This is a world of capes and lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Hey everyone, it's Phil. No flashy music, no shots of my co-host tonight. At least to start this thing off this week, we're going to talk. There you go, Lil. Thank you. This week... Well, last week after we did our Friday night recordings, we all learned of the passing of Chadwick Boseman, and we discussed it over the week and decided at least probably the first half of this episode we would talk Chadwick Boseman and his career and what he meant to everybody. So yeah, so we're kind of starting off a little sad this episode, but hey, all right. So I don't know how to do with that out of cue. All right. So, how do we want to start this?
Introduce each of us.
Oh, yeah, true. Sorry. I told
There
you.
you go.
I'm confused about the fancy music. I'm Pavlov's dog. I need the bell, okay? Anyway, yes, I am Phil. Joining me is Charlie, the Professor Esser, and Lilith Hellfire.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
2020 is trash, and I just want it to end.
Oh, my Lord.
It won't stop taking from us.
I
don't
mean...
appreciate it.
Just the events of 2020 and how many people we lost already, like Denny O'Neil, Chadwick Boseman. I'm sure there's more I'm not remembering, but just
Yes.
Stan Lee?
was that he 2020?
That was last year.
I was going to say, was that last year?
Was that last year? Was that 2019?
I know it's a blur. 2019, end of 2019 was kind of trash too. Not gonna
Honestly, yeah, it's
we're so old now that all our childhood things are dying. Unfortunately,
I was thinking this New Year's Eve, this is probably the first New Year's Eve. Everyone in the world's going to be so happy to be like, yes, let's just start a new year.
Yeah.
Let's take a shot and never speak of this horrible year again.
Let's hope so.
Because
But and of course with Mr. Boseman, he's not a childhood person.
Well, for some people he is now.
Well,
not for
Yeah,
us,
for
but
us,
no, but yeah, it's he's someone. He's had a surprisingly long and dense career, in a relatively short time. But
and there's Tyler. There's Tyler Patrick.
Hi, Tyler.
Hey guys, I was hurting. I had to boot this thing up. So
That's all right. We're just talking Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah,
Man,
we're doing our memorial.
I just rented 21 Bridges. I gotta go pick it up.
Mm.
It's the newest movie he's done that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
And they're showing Black Panther in movies during COVID. Like, I don't know how I feel about that.
I saw an article today. I think that some theaters are going to be showing 42.
Yeah, 42. AMC will be releasing 42, which is, one of the, and yeah, it's a complex idea because obviously it's honest. One thing I will say about this is that I think, we know Chadwick Boseman, and he's relevant to this podcast because of Black Panther, because he became an icon within the genre fiction that we work with. But his career is so much bigger than just this one, big money role. And trust me, his family will be well taken care of from this. And I fully expect there to be a Chadwick Boseman Foundation from that Marvel money going forward. But it's he has had these amazing roles. Portraying Jackie Robinson in 42, portraying Thurgood Marshall in Marshall.
James Brown, get on up.
James Brown, get on up. Just these iconic real life beings, people that indelibly changed society, and that is a real honor for him. And then
just that he had the ability to convincingly portray all these different people.
Mm-hmm. I mean, really, it is. It's an amazing career that he leaves behind, and to be taken so quickly, I mean, it just compounds the legend. It compounds how amazing it was that he was here, and you know, it's in its own way. It's just such a heroic death in its own way. You know, this idea. It's not like it is a. You know, it's not like he was out partying or ran his car off the road or any of the other ways that we lose stars young. This was a man who battled cancer and battled it privately.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, like nobody knew. Like none of the Disney people knew. Nobody really knew, probably except his family. And not only was he making all these Marvel films while battling cancer, but they said he was also going out to the hospitals and seeing kids and stuff. And
that I think is just the most powerful testament to it, that as he himself is battling this, he is going to these hospitals and reaching out to these kids and making sure that they know, even though I'm sure did not tell them I'm battling cancer too.
Oh no.
I'm sure, but he's letting them know, you can be strong, you can, you and honestly, it's hard to think about, and I.
Oh, he was even playing the role then too, because at least for like the younger kids, they said he'd roll into the hospital and they'd be like, "Oh, King T'Challa's here to see you," and he played that character up for them, and because did anyone see the special? I think it's on Disney Plus now, but Sunday night ABC ran Black Panther. I mean, I think they edited a little for time, but it was completely commercial free. And then they rolled
I don't know if TBS was, though. I know TBS did it too.
Oh, but ABC had it commercial free. Yeah, and then they rolled into like a 2020 special. They were like interviewing people, like even like Robert Downey Jr. and some of them. But I mean, just about his whole career. But they're even saying he went to Howard University, and I guess he almost didn't go. But who sponsored him and paid for him to get into Howard University?
No, that wasn't how he got to Howard. That's how he got to the Royal Shakespeare Company.
Yes.
Denzel Washington.
And
he of course he was chosen to give Denzel his Lifetime Achievement Award from some award groups that gives Lifetime Achievement Awards. It's a.
But talk about an investment. Talk about an investment that pays off for everybody. I mean, just it's there's so many emotions. I think that's one of the hardest things about this right now is this is such a major story in so many places, and emotions are just raw right now. And I mean,
it's hard to talk about.
Oh yeah, and just like everybody, it hit everybody, and it seemed like it affected everybody, like online. And let's face it, in 2020, if someone has like dirt to dig up on them, people are gonna like air that dirty laundry. Nobody has a bad word to say about Chadwick Boseman.
No, because I doubt he had anything.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he did.
I think my favorite thing was that open letter that Ryan Coogler had written about his time with Chad, and it's just like, wow.
Oh yeah.
Being so hands-on and knowing how important that role was for the African American community. They both had like a really vibey kind of relationship, and I just appreciated that. It was just like nice.
Oh yeah,
nice little behind the scenes piece.
Oh yeah, and on that special, Ta-Nehisi Coates was talking about him, and then I can't remember if I knew this or not, but yeah, Michael B. Jordan, because I guess they were friends for a long time. So how great was that the two of them got to face off in that movie, and play,
Yeah. I mean, words just can't describe.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because at the end of the day, he was a movie actor,
mm-hmm.
and it's so easy to just think, should we be this overwhelmed by a movie actor? But I always say that sometimes in life there is so much anguish and heartache that we just don't get to cry over or be sad about, because if we started crying about all of the tragedy, we may never stop crying.
And again, who cares what your profession is if you bring joy to the world, you know?
Well,
and if you're just a good person.
Exactly.
I mean, that thing is like, we're talking about someone who passed who was just a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think what I was trying to say is that, you know, when something like this happens, it can crystallize a year's worth of anguish and pain. And here is something that we can allow ourselves to lose ourselves in. That this pain becomes the surrogate pain for all of the pain in our world, because we can't cry about all of the things that are just destroying us right now. But in this one moment, we can let ourselves be sad because we have lost this giant, this giant of iconography. You know, he's more than just the characters he played. He is an actor, but he is also, you know, someone who embodied these things in our minds and our hearts. And so we can project all of our sorrow into this moment, and that makes this moment all the more powerful.
And just the strength and grace he carried himself with, because he was battling the cancer for 4 years, and it's like, you know, at any point you could have been like, you know, I might not wake up tomorrow, and he's still, you know, he got up, went to work, put good in the world, and
you know, I mean, I know it's been said that, you know, he had to live so much of his life in such a short time, and he accomplished that. And you know,
that's what they said. Like in his terms of his Hollywood career, I don't think it was even a decade. And look how much he did.
I know he's got a filmography. He has definitely earned his spot in you know, the what's it, Hellwind's Nighthawks version, Boulevard of Broken Dreams. You know, he has definitely earned a spot at the diner counter with Elvis and Marilyn Monroe.
Oh yeah,
and James Dean right now. I'm sure we'll see that in short order. You know,
and I mean, not only just the iconic roles, but he literally was in the biggest movies of all time. You know, Infinity War, Endgame, Black Panther,
and you know, and of course was crucial to those things, and had great moments of being an actor. And it's just, that's the thing about it, is in all of those movies from Civil War on through Endgame, at no time is he ever sort of just there. I mean, maybe you can argue in Endgame he's just there to punch people, but even still, you know, he punches really well, and you know, is so wonderful to the plot and has such an arc. You know, I think when you go back to Civil War and moving from that place of anger in the beginning, where, you know, he is just all Inigo Montoya, you know, you killed my father, prepare to die. And on the end, you know, when he has Zemo and he just says the world is not done with you yet, you know.
He's the best character in that film, and he's the only one that has a true arc in that film.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, really and truthfully, he does. He has a great arc. That is really the first Black Panther film, you know, in its own way. That's, you know, that's indicative of Captain America films. They're usually someone else's film. He's just Captain America in it, and he's just going along with the ride, and everyone else is having a story. But yeah, that is Black Panther's film, and you know, and that's the thing. It's like you realize that, oh wow, we only had one Black Panther film, but really it feels like we've had so many more.
And he stood out in Civil War, and I mean, you had most of the Avengers in that movie. You had Robert Downey Jr. in that movie. You introduced Spider-Man in that movie, and he still stood out.
Yeah, well, exactly, because he you can say that he understood the importance of the character, but I think everyone at Marvel understood what they were doing, you know? And I do feel, for whatever else you want to say about Marvel, they do recognize the weight when they're going to go into these places. When, you know, that they worry and probably over-worry to a default before they do these things, because they know it has to be perfect. It has to be the right time and the right place and the right actor. and the right story to tell. And, and again, going back to what I said, as far as timing goes, he has been a man who has been of this era. So much of this last decade with him and with the struggles that we have faced have been embodied by the films he did. And, he makes a perfect, narrative for the 2020s or 2020 in its own way. Mm-hmm. And it is sometimes shocking to think of this, and how much this actor really, really changed our sense of cinema in this era right now. And really, I think, it's him, and then him being in the roles he chose, and that he chose these great roles. And even films like 21 Bridges, which, again, is in its own way a Serpico style, cop movie. But of course comes into this entire idea of corrupt cops and the people that are working against, good cops in the field. And that is so of this time now that, obviously it's always been of this time. It's always been the world we were in, but that it all comes to a head at this moment. It's amazingly fortuitous from a cultural standpoint that all of these films are here for us to look back on, highlighted by this man's, greatness and selflessness and just performance, and how it becomes a microcosm for all of the troubles we're going through in this country and in this planet right now. And, that is a powerful thing.
Lilith?
Yes, I'm still here.
No, your thoughts?
Sad, bro. Like, I don't know what you want from me.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you had something else to say. Okay, Tyler, before you give us your thoughts, did you say you were going, you had somewhere where you were going to rent the movie? Do you still have places to rent a movie around there?
Dude. It's Ohio, of course he does.
Hey, Pennsylvania here, and I don't. That's
Redbox, man.
Redbox. Okay.
Redbox? Yeah, there's still places to rent movies. I mean,
I thought he meant like an actual, like an establishment.
I was thinking there's another last Blockbuster on Earth that I have to go to.
Yeah, last in Ohio.
There's a family video, it's somewhere in Columbus. But I'm not paying for most movies to rent digitally like $3 and $4 all the time. For if I can go to Redbox for like $1.80. Plus they send me coupons all the time. So okay.
Smart, yeah.
There's also a thing called the library.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
True.
That people forget
Good luck
about.
renting a Marvel movie from your public library, though. I'll just let you kids know that.
I have tons of movies I've watched this summer from the library, and shows and books and comics. Like, people forget about the library. Heck, our library has video games. Me and Solomon get PS4 games for the library all the time.
Oh, nice. Was the actual physical library open? Because I know ours was closed for the longest time.
No,
ours is open now.
I think ours might be open now, but I think
they put in a drive-through.
Oh, so yeah, curbside.
I just reserve it online and then just pull up, and they through a window and bring us our stuff.
But yeah, it's a sad thing, and he'll be missed, and his presence is definitely going to be felt. But I just felt everybody was really rude, like instantly. Who's going to replace Black Panther? Like, can you let the news breathe, people? Like that's the only thing about this whole thing. Like,
it's not like they're in the middle of shooting the film.
Yeah.
Or
we're not shooting movies for a while because Batman just got COVID. So I think we're all going to try to let this thing pass as best we can before we start trying to invest money and things like this. I think that's another lesson.
And even if they tried that, anyone they said, okay, you're up, that anyone would be like, I don't want to answer that now.
I heard the most disgusting thing, and this is what I call the Paul Walker effect from Fast and Furious, where they had his brother do the body stand in and they imaged his face over. No, absolutely not. I will start a boycott and a riot over that.
No, I will argue, at least with the Paul
That's
Walker
what made me stop
thing.
Fast and Furious franchise. So,
well, at least with the Paul Walker thing, he had already shot most of the film. It was a crucial point. So His brothers filmed it. They changed the story. I mean, if you look at that Fast and the Furious film as a narrative, and like, you can see that there was conceits made in the story to work around. Like, they even had an out in the beginning. They could have,
and they didn't take it. Yeah,
because he had shot so much of the film. So I look at that as like a tribute to let the character to honor. Paul.
Now they're talking about bringing him back though, and doing that same thing for a whole movie.
No,
so.
that's what I'm saying. You don't do that.
No. Yeah,
like this. Okay?
Please don't. No. I don't think Marvel is that desperate for money like Universal.
I mean, even think about a few years ago. I mean, was it been like 10 years more when Heath Ledger died in the middle of filming Dr. Parnassus, and luckily, I mean, not luckily he died, but you know, in the production of the film, he hadn't shot certain scenes of the other world, so they made it so that when he went into the other world, he would look different. So they used different actors to be that character in the other world. That was a way of honoring Heath.
And they also donated that money to his daughter too, the actress that took over. Yeah.
So it was Colin Farrell, Johnny Depp. Who was the third? Was it Jude Law? I cannot think who the third one was, but you know, that was a way of honoring someone who had shot part of the film and died. Like the man had finished his work as this character. You know, there's creative ways to work around this. It's really not worth, you know, like you said, discussing right now, because it's not like it's up on the chopping block. It's not like they were ready to go. It's not like it's happening now. Let the man, you know, have his due respect for being an amazing actor that died of something tragic.
I just say I don't think don't replace. I don't think they should replace him with anyone. I think they should just open a movie, say, you know, T'Challa gave his life, saving his country, you know, saving his people, and then hand it to Shuri.
I mean,
however they're going to do it, and again, like I said, I don't want to get into that speculation.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is don't replace.
Here's the thing. Don't replace. No. See, I don't want to say that either.
Don't recast. Don't recast.
No, don't. See, but that's the thing. You know, I don't think that's first off. Whatever the decision is going to be, first, there are people that are right now there are people whose jobs right now literally is to be worrying about this and working through this. There are people who don't get the luxury to mourn this because they have got to work the logistics and they've got to work and I don't want to put anyone in this situation where, you know, where someone says, here's how they should do it. And then if they don't do it that way, we get mad. I want to say that, you know what, they're going to decide how they're going to do it. They're going to decide what works in the story, what's going to be character appropriate, you know, and, you know, we have to understand that whatever they decide, we as fans need to give that person the chance to be that role. We, you know, whether it's, you know, whatever whatever actor or actress or person takes over that role, because obviously, you know, the role of Black Panther, that is a title. Mm-hmm. That is, you know, like 007, it is a role that is a title. But at the same time, the character of T'Challa doesn't need to necessarily be anything beyond what he was.
Yeah. And because I know they said they're in deep planning, because I mean he was going to show up in a couple different
we still
movies.
have that What If that's going to be released.
He was basically going to be the new Robert Downey Jr. showing up in everyone's movie. Yeah.
So that would, you know, but this is stuff that they're going to work through, and I just don't want to speculate on it. I don't even want to think about it, at least not yet. And here's what I'll say: in a month's time, maybe then we can start saying, well, you know, one thing they could do is this, and one thing they could do is that, and here's another thing they could do. And that can be fine and fun and enjoyable. Then actors and actresses can say, you know, I would be honored if that's what they decided to do. I don't know what they're going to decide to do, but yes, I would be honored to honor my friend and my colleague. Because again, anyone they're going to pick, it's going to be a friend or a colleague of this guy, because he was insanely well liked, and all of the best actors in Hollywood are apparently friends with him. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I don't think you're going to find yourself in a situation where, you know, I don't think right now is the time to push anyone into that role, because no one wants to feel like they're being stuffed into the suit. Yeah. But at the same time, when the time comes, I think we owe it to whoever takes on the weight of that mantle to give them that chance to say, yeah, you know, I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to honor my friend in this way. You know, I'm going to try and be as good as he was in the role.
All we can do is wait and see.
Yeah, really.
And just leave Marvel alone about it, because it's really rude and gross to me at this time. Like, so soon. Give it some space.
Yeah.
And I think he would want us all to learn the lesson. Just be like, live your life to the fullest. You know, do good here while you can. I mean, he was a year older than me. I'm just like, oh, you know, makes you think. Just like, go out,
get your checkups, boys, because men don't go to the doctor. So
well,
there's a lesson to be learned.
Well, that's the thing though too. Is like it was colon cancer, and I think they said like
that's really aggressive.
Well, that
it can be.
But too, I don't think we're getting medical here, but I don't think they recommend you get checked or like a colonoscopy or anything till 50, and he was only 43.
Yeah. Well, they have recently said it's not a bad idea to do it at 45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, he wasn't even 45.
Yeah, I know. So,
hello?
Men have a terrible habit of doing that. Just throwing that out there.
No, she's right.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I've heard, you know, it's not to sound too weird, but yeah, like if your stools, if you're having trouble, like, you know, any bleeding or weird stuff, yeah,
I would hope if you're suffering that you would go to the doctor.
Go to the doctor, yes.
Yeah.
So let's lighten the mood with some comic books.
Yeah, I was gonna say, want to talk some comics?
Yeah,
definitely.
All right,
I need it.
Yes.
Phil's Comics Corner.
Whoa! One thing. Anybody watch Bill and Ted yet?
No.
I have.
Loved it. I mean, I
can't wait for the spinoff of their daughters. That's all I have to say about it. I love those girls. They kind of like emulated the dads they're supposed to be, and then they also made it their own. It was great. And if you are like in a sad mood like I am, it's not like Bill and Ted Bogus Adventure is like Bogus Journey is my favorite movie. So it didn't have that kind of wacky comedy to it, but it's its own good movie in its own way. And I never expected it to be a trilogy, but it worked.
So you two recommend it? See it?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I watched it.
Keanu he needs his beard. That's what I've realized, though. Please don't ever do a movie without your beard at this point in stage in your life.
It's weird without the beard. All I'm going to say is my daughter has now been going around going, "We are wild stallions."
Oh my God, that's so adorable.
And she keeps saying, "I'm Ted, Daddy, you're Bill." And we're...
And that's okay. Alex Winters is awesome. And I was like, honestly, that's the only reason. I'm like, guys, just go support Alex Winters for the love of goodness, please.
So what
I'm just like, sure, baby girl, whatever.
So what you're saying is your daughter says she's John Wick.
I mean, she could be.
She very well could be.
you got to watch her, and you'd be like, dang, I'm scared. I'm like, yeah. You should be scared.
But
see, I don't want to see it yet because there was an ad in one of my comic books right this week, and I want to find it real quick. There it is.
Yeah, there's a prequel comic that there's...
The prequel comic is coming out after the movie.
Yeah.
So I got to read the prequel comic so I know what's going on in the movie.
No,
and I love that Death was just as hilarious as before. So, like, I wasn't expecting...
Look, Station's in it. I don't even know if Station is in the new one. So,
I like the movie for what it did. There's a lot of things, like, having watched all three in the same day and then thinking about it.
I couldn't do it. I'm going to wait. I'm going to let it sit for a while before I watch the quote-unquote full trilogy. So,
I'm just saying that I really enjoyed it.
That's what I should probably do is watch all three in a row because I haven't watched those first two in such a long time.
Well, I was at Walmart and in the dump bin was 1 and 2 on
really?
DVD together for $5, and I was like, man, I have the first one.
I still have my VHSs somewhere.
I just bought them both, and I watched them, and it was interesting to see them all together and think about it, and so it was I highly recommend the new one.
Yeah, I was gonna say long Labor Day weekend. Maybe I'll get to those, but I know season.
No, we got recording to do, Phil. There's no rest.
Well, I mean, come on, I know, but. Well, I was going to say, no, episode 1 of season 2 of The Boys dropped. I didn't watch that yet. I'm going to watch that.
I watched that. When I found out I didn't have to work today, I stayed up last night with Jania and watched the first one. And they only dropped 3 episodes. They're going to a weekly thing now.
Oh wait, they dropped 3?
They dropped 3 and they're going to do one a week now. So James has plowed
gotta eke out that content now that people aren't filming and producing.
No, that's fine. I thought they were just doing one a week starting right now. I didn't know they dropped the first 3. All right, nice.
But yeah, so everyone is
expect a review next week.
I'm just saying, there's 3 of them. James said that be prepared because episode 3 is definitely it's, how did he word it? He said, hold on, I will tell you. In the words of the great James Cole, he said,
Mr. James Cole.
Dude, I didn't write it. He said, OMG, 3 episodes, so messed up. I'm serious. Just warning you. When the Deep shows up, be prepared. It's not cool, man.
Oh, boy. The Deep.
So, I'm like, all right.
Hey, man, have you seen pictures of James Cole at the gym? You better call him Mr. James Cole.
We had a I don't want to say we just took Chuck Norris facts and replaced Chuck Norris with James. I got very creative and came up with my own one day. So my buddy Brian and I had a whole conversation with James tagged in it of all the new James Cole facts. It definitely lightened his mood and brought joy to him.
When he goes to the gym, the equipment wipes itself down.
Oh, James, if you're watching.
All right. Oh, hey, since we were going to talk comics, Tyler, I haven't been reading it. Did I see you got the new Shazam?
Yeah, I did. The last issue? I mean, I didn't. That was this week. Man, my weeks are all off.
I thought I saw it on Facebook or something this week.
Yeah, I'm about to say that was this week. Yeah, so that was going to be my pick for the week because I don't know, like this Shazam. I don't know. Have any of you guys been reading Shazam?
I haven't read it.
I gave up after issue 6, I believe.
I think I read
the last one, The Revenge of Mr. Mind, but I had so many other books.
I probably read around the same as Lilith, and then I think I picked up again when that Batman issue, but after that, since then I haven't read any.
But basically, I mean, all it is this Shazam is basically right behind his Shazam from New 52.
Mm-hmm.
So if you read the Shazam, the New 52 that Jeff Johns did, then this follows right behind it. So it's kind of weird because, it doesn't really talk about anything else that was done with Shazam before this. But I felt like, so this was the last issue of the run, I guess. It's issue 14.
Mm.
Yeah. It was oversized, quote unquote. Okay.
Yeah. So I felt like, okay, it's 2 issues. All right. And I just felt like, okay, this is weird because I don't remember if there was something it's been so long, it was announced about John's leaving the book. What's going on?
Well, he's leaving just all the books at this point to focus on DC TV. So
that's what I thought, but I'm like, it's been a crazy year.
Plus, with the pandemic and everything, it was probably going to go to like 25, but they just kind of cutting their losses. Because there's no new Shazam movie coming out anytime soon. What's the point of putting out books? I think that's Warner's pretty much basic philosophy at this point.
Well, didn't they say, I mean, with all the layoffs, they said they didn't have enough people to sustain the amount of books they were doing.
So it's weird because they're building up to this big, like, reveal and, like, story. And with Superboy Prime. And it's just like, it's just like, it goes so fast and he's such a small part. And I'm like, you've been building this up as a big deal, kind of like the way that the idea of like.
That might have been leading into some Generation 5 things too. I know a lot of books that got kind of the acts were kind of, had some of that stuff in it as well. So that could very well be something along those lines as well.
It could be. I mean, that makes sense.
We're setting up a big event.
Yeah, that's not going to happen now. Thank goodness.
It does end on an interesting point, but it was just weird that it felt like there was going to be this big thing, this big deal, because you could have almost cut the Superboy Prime out of that issue and just left it as this thread that's just hanging out there for someone else to kind of take.
You could cut Superboy Prime basically out of anything since Crisis on Infinite.
Just let him punch his way back into his little stupid corner.
Well, that was the whole point. Was like it was supposed to be a big deal because they're talking about who are you, and he has all of his memories and everything from before.
Well, a lot of them have their memories now. Impulse,
common thread right now.
Impulse, Connor Kent, Superboy. I think Barry Allen's getting his back. It's just Wally West.
It's a weird choice, and it's things are happening.
They want everything that counts.
Probably just have to. Now you know how I feel about Batman Incorporated. Welcome to my pain. Welcome to my misery. # never forget, never forgive.
It's just one of those things. I was just like, man, like I really like the Shazam up, and like I didn't.
He might bring depending on how Shazam does, and if they decide they actually do want to do a Shazam 2 instead of focus on that Black Adam spinoff, that character might show up in Stargirl. Who knows? They have a thing. So,
well, speaking of Black Adam,
they announced the name of the Shazam 2 movie. So, woo!
We'll see.
It was just announced. Speaking of Black Adam and Robert Pattinson having COVID, The Rock has COVID.
Yeah, his
whole family, unfortunately.
His whole family,
his entire family, and it's just, I don't know, man. And I mean, you pray it's a mild case. You pray it's one of these things where it's like, okay, you have it, but hopefully it's mild, and hopefully you're all going to be okay. Oh, but it is shocking when this kind of stuff happens, and this constant interruption of everybody's life because
it means stay at home, guys.
Yeah, well,
you have to go out and take care of yourself.
Yeah, quit going on vacation, people. Sorry, Charlie.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We're only going to Philadelphia. We're actually going to Cherry Hill. We're not leaving.
I'm literally going up the road, Philip. I'm going up the road.
The other side of my state, and then just like right over the river into your state, and then right back. We're going for pizza. Literally, that's it. Maybe see the Franklin Museum, but it is just it's this false sense of security that gets built up because we go a long time, and the cases start going down, and everyone starts to feel, well, I guess it wasn't worth shutting everything down in the first place, and then as soon as everything starts coming back, all the cases start rising up again, people start dying, and it's just like,
I think it's just a sense of entitlement for some people.
Yeah, and probably brings us back to a dark place, people. Let's get back to the good stuff.
Welcome to 2020.
Sorry, man. It's just
that's also what I was talking about Shazam 2, because a lot of Shazam 2 relies on Black Adam, so it's like this whole thing. So, and I think that the TV medium is just gonna, like, they've got some new techniques and things that make it a lot easier than it would to be a big film budget kind of thing too. So
yeah. Oh, and speaking of TV, CWverse.
Boo! It's Berlantiverse or it's the Arrowverse, okay? That's it. Do not disrespect Stephen Amell. I'm not even y'all know how I feel about Stephen Amell. He can get it, but I'm not the biggest fan. But don't disrespect the work that man laid. Arrow would not be a success without him, and especially in the early days when he was doing his Facebook stuff, and when they didn't want him to do his Facebook stuff. So either leave it the Arrowverse or leave it the Berlantiverse, not the CW. Well, CW sit all the way down.
I don't like the CW because they already told us that Titans is connected and that...
And Berlanti's a part of that too, guys!
Exactly.
Hello!
I know, but
that's why...
They don't want to call it the Berlantiverse because then you're giving too much power to this producer for your character.
We gave it to a lot of people that didn't deserve it, and I'll say Greg Berlanti deserves it for better or for worse. His thumbprints all over their freaking place.
I said, keep it Arrowverse. If not, call it Flashverse. But I mean,
sorry.
What about, could you use something stupid like DC TV verse or something?
No, because in that you get Gotham and Krypton and all those other things.
It's the Legends verse.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, it's Beboverse. There we go. It's the Beboverse.
Yes.
Hashtag deal with it, y'all.
Constantine verse.
Yes.
No, it's going to be a crisis on Constantine. On Constantine.
Constantine is a crisis.
He is. But yeah, I just feel like that's really rude. It's really disrespectful. And like they're really trying to kind of like erase Stephen Amell. Like it's like a whole thing going on behind the scenes. So I'm just like,
are they just mad at him because he wanted to leave? Is that this thing, or are there people
honestly,
mad at him?
Like I said, there's a lot of things. Like the whole Amell family kind of has beef with the CW at this point.
The dude basically put in like 7.5 seasons. What more do they want?
And it's kind of just this thing. So I just feel like it's rude to say it's not the Arrowverse anymore because it's petty. They're being petty, flat out.
And again, it's not like it's Green Arrowverse. It's just Arrowverse. It's just Arrowverse.
He started it. He laid that foundation. Yeah. Had he not been so good and so successful in those first 2 seasons where they wouldn't let them do anything, they had to work around all these stupid restrictions, and he still made it work. And if that hadn't been successful, The Flash wouldn't have been able to be a spinoff of Arrow. Don't disrespect the legend like that. Don't do it.
All I'm saying is, Phil, so you don't get it now. The CW, if you're not pulling in 15 seasons and committing to
it ain't the Supernatural verse, okay? That's the whole WB relic. Get out of here, Supernatural.
Yeah, but
they don't want you no more. They don't want you if you ain't committing to 15 seasons.
Yeah, but okay, so, Tyler, Lilith, I'm sorry. Arrow's a different animal than Supernatural. Stephen Amell had to stay in shape. He couldn't eat cheeseburgers or dessert. I mean, Supernatural. They're Supernatural.
Them boys are still in shape, okay?
I don't know.
He's still in shape.
Those jackets.
Shout out to Jared Padalecki.
Some of them those jackets were getting bigger and bigger. It
was all Jared Padalecki's hair. That ponytail they had to tuck in. He finally got a haircut though, so we can stop making that meme. But poor Charlie just wants to talk about comic books. Can we let poor Charlie talk about comic books?
Hey! Bendis alert!
No!
I think he must listen to this show. He must have got the message because Drake is done. Tim Drake is Robin again.
Woo-hoo! Best news I've heard in a long time.
Because
regarding DC,
I didn't read the Teen Titans annual, but Damian, I guess, quit being Robin. And at the end of this Young Justice 18, they're basically like, "Oh, Tim's back being Robin." They're like, "Yeah, I pretty much think Batman forced them to Batman." Oh, they say Batman and spoiler made him.
Well, it's
crazy. I had a continuity discussion with my friend today. I was like, it's just crazy because when was Tim Drake Robin last? Before the New 52?
Didn't we have this conversation on Before the Bat as well? It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's so crazy because he hasn't been Robin since before.
Bring back Red Robin.
Well, since Bruce,
since
everyone thought Bruce Wayne was dead. Yeah, 2000. It was either 2000. Was it 2009? I think he was the last time Tim was Robin.
Bring back Red Robin.
You know what's weird is Robin is Dick Grayson, and Dick Grayson, the entire reason why he takes on the Robin persona that is apparently supposed to be related to the costumes the Flying Graysons wore and all that kind of nonsense. But it just opens up, why do all of the other people take on the name
Well, they do try
Robin?
to make it their own in subtle ways, but then also it's kind of like a mantle and a legacy, too, and everybody respects Dick Grayson so much. That's the way that I take it.
And again, back in the day, DC was big.
And Bruce doesn't like change. He doesn't deal well with change.
And
I mean, rite of passage.
DC, DC used to be good with legacy characters. I mean, the Robins, the Flashes, the Green Lanterns. And two, Batman's big on branding. It's always Batman and Robin.
Yeah,
he has a type.
He might secretly have merch rights. We don't know all the things that Wayne Industries gets into.
Well, you could argue that if he's anticipating that eventually there'll be another Batman. But if there's always a Batman and Robin, then it shows this continuity as if they are mythical beings that just continue forever.
He likes his human shields to dress similarly, Charlie. Yes, sir.
Why does Batman wear all black? He doesn't like to get shot. Why does Robin wear such bright colors? Batman doesn't like to get shot.
Suck it, Kona.
Oh. I'm just saying, but it's okay. So Tim Drake's.
Okay, Tim
Drake's Robin again. So
yes,
Red Robin, bring back the car.
He's
we need some
Red
more
Robin.
Merch. I want him to bring back Red Robin.
I want that Red Robin,
and we need that merch.
I want that Red Robin series that Fabian Nicieza was working on right before New 52. I want a lot of stuff.
Well, we got 3 Jokers, so if you're willing to wait 5 more years, it might happen. I don't know.
Here's my thing. It's Tim. I feel bad for. Because he's the Robin every other medium forgets about, but all they do is take his identity.
And give it to other people, like in Titans.
Well, think about this. When Dick Grayson was Robin on Batman the Animated Series, they modeled his look and everything after Tim Drake. The suit, everything, and then the comics.
They tried to make a happy medium with that.
And then in the comics, they retcon that Dick's first suit was basically Tim's suit. So, everything that Tim does he gets taken away. He gets forgotten about in every
you
other.
You think his name was Jason Todd because they treat him like a redheaded stepchild. Suck it, Kona.
But then think now, at least we're going to get Tim with the Gotham Knights game. That's his first.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Everything else has always been Damian, because they've never been able to create like a character that really sticks for Tim. Because I'll admit, I liked the idea.
He's not controversial. That's his problem. I think that's why they made him the Drake, to give him some controversy, because controversy sells.
Hate the Drake.
I think that's what it feels like to me, because DC doesn't.
I like the idea of Drake, like him getting his own kind of identity and things, but I wasn't sold on
I didn't like the execution.
The name and the costume are horrible.
Yeah.
Okay, Charlie, what is it?
What's Damian doing now?
I don't know. He just quit
Being
the Teen...
a prepubescent turd, usual.
He just quit in the Teen Titans annual, so they haven't. I don't think they've shown his next movie yet. So.
Can he just be a normal child? Can him and Bruce just have a normal relationship? Can we get an Elsewhere tale for that? That's child abuse.
Bruce have a normal relationship with someone. You're funny.
I mean, they're trying to do it with Superman, and I just think that, the Bruce and Damian relationship just needs something else than this crime-fighting, constant bickering duo, or shipping him off to another, superhero. Damian needs his spanking, and Damian needs time with his father, if Bruce is really his father.
Batman.
I know, Deathstroke, I know.
I never really liked the moniker of Red Robin either, just because I felt like it was cheap. Like, oh, you're Red Robin.
Yum.
Then where's Blue Robin?
Yeah.
Black Robin.
He's around, trust me.
and Purple Robin. And,
but that's sort of my thing. Is why do they have to be Robins at all?
It's a legacy. If you're going to be in Bruce's world, you're going to abide by Bruce's rules.
It all goes.
That's what it boils down to.
When they were created, you had Dick move on to Nightwing, and then Jason was killed off,
and then brought back as Red Hood.
Well, Tim got the job before they brought him back. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Tim's whole story was that Batman needs a Robin. He doesn't work well without having one, and that was
he needs a partner. It doesn't necessarily have to be.
It has to be a Robin. It's Bruce's way or the highway, Charlie. Come on, he's a rich, entitled douchebag. Of course, he's making his sidekicks dress up like that, and they have no input or say.
Don't kink shame him.
That's Tim's whole thing when he comes to it. It's like Batman needs a Robin. That was his storyline.
Yeah,
and then you have all these characters that people just love, and it's like you can't just drop them out. So they had to find ways of working around them.
I don't know if people had a problem with it. Well, I know a lot of people had a problem with Damian, but I don't know if they're working to phase him out at least as Robin, because that new Batman game that new Batman game that's coming, it's basically Batman's missing, and you can play as Nightwing, Batgirl. I think Tim is Red Hood, and Tim is the Robin. Yeah.
Solomon's already told it.
Damian's still controversial. No matter how much you want to say, he's gotten to be a better character and he's more tolerable, he's still controversial. People still hate him.
I mean, when he first appeared,
I wouldn't want him in my video game.
When he first
buy that video game.
When he first appeared, he was 10 years old and he was already killing people. It's
Yeah, they had to walk so much stuff back with him, but it's just, like I said, I wouldn't buy a game if the Robin was Damian. So they did it good, and there's a lot of people that liked him, and I feel like they're pandering to that as well. So
as they should. I mean, he hasn't had his just due. I mean, the only thing that Tim's appeared in is Young Justice, and that was in season 2, and he's very in the background.
Yeah.
We won't even get started on season 2.
So it's Tim hasn't got to appear in any other media.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they're kind of trying to work on that in Batman: The Adventure Continues, because they've been hitting around it at every issue, but Jason Todd's back, lurking in the shadows.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was reading that, and I was really excited about the Jason story, because for some reason both my kids love Red Hood.
They're outlaws like me. Yeah.
Tristan loves Red Hood too.
Oh, hey, they actually give you a halfway decent Azrael in this new one too.
Oh,
he's basically
I don't want to see that on Before the Bat. Just so you know.
Well, I know, but he's him and Bruce were contemporaries. They trained with the same guys and stuff, and he's not
convenient.
He's not so much a douche.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Cool. He's not a douche? Because that
was I said not as much. Not as much.
You said that's literally 96% of his personality.
Yeah, Solomon already told us that I have to buy Gotham Knights and that he'll play as Red Hood, Sayla's Batgirl, I'm Nightwing, and Jania's Robin. So my 5-year-old is very opinionated.
Make it so, Father.
Did you get that Hellblazer? Sorry.
Oh, no, I did not.
Me neither. I don't know anybody else who did.
Well,
but
that
all
was
their
one.
reviewers are fawning over.
Well, it was one of those oversized. What was it, like $7-8 books, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it's like a 3-issue miniseries.
Let me find out.
Yeah, it's I think it's one of the Black Label over, like that Harley
one
that was oversized.
Black Label,
yeah,
so.
I was like, nah, it's okay. Maybe. Because don't they reprint those in like trades and stuff? I'm like, maybe if I hear good things, maybe I'll pick it up.
Yeah, it's a $7 book.
Yeah, because I saw someone at the store picking it up. I was like, yeah.
That's kind of like how I've been like with some of the Black Label stuff. Is like I know like they're going to put it out as a collective, and then like it's going to come rather quick. It's not like the regular trades of books.
And like that Harleen series, I mean, it looked pretty, but it's like, why do you got to print it in this big, oversized? Because
I will say for Three Jokers, for the story wise, but that art, the art itself is worth the $7. This book, not so much.
And two, I mean, Three Jokers, they didn't make it that big format either. Because I think that was at least a buck or two cheaper. Yeah, so
it was all about that prestige paper, you see.
Again, I don't care. Lower the prices. I had no problem. Newsprint. I had no problem with it as a child. I have no problem with it now. Hey, makes your books more valuable because they can degrade.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's kind of like back when I was buying a lot of when they did Villains Month, the New 52.
Oh, the bit that never ended.
They were trying to get me to buy the lenticular cover, and I was like, no. If I put that back, that saves me $1. That gives me $3 more to buy another book.
Exactly.
I'm like, I would rather buy another book.
And that whole thing was tricky too, because on the order form, didn't they put those out like, I don't know, at least a week or two before you could order like the regular copies too? So they were like trying to trick people into buying the more expensive.
Dear DC, you've always been a scammy mess. We see you.
At least since New 52.
Oh, well, they had to. I mean, it had no substance. It had very little substance. Hashtag frighten me. I do not care anymore. So, Charlie, what did you read, buddy?
Well, okay. Well, one thing I want to talk about is, of course, the Orville.
Was that landing day number 1?
Launch day.
Launch day.
1 and 2. Well, this is episode 1. These all take place after the second season, which really makes me wonder if
is it the prequel to the new season, technically, or no?
I don't know. I don't know if these are going to be canonical or not, but I'm enjoying them. It's a fun book. We basically, and one of the things I like about it, one of the many things I like about the Orville is just the fact that it does understand that politics exists and different worlds have different opinions, and because this opens up with this one planet with these kind of cool looking like green people. Yeah, right there. Got this like little green thing there with that little fish ears. His planet just voted to leave the Union. And then
civil war?
No. They just they elected a new leader. The leader says we need to get out of the Union.
Are they fighting over planet rights? What's going on?
Well, yeah, and this is like 20 years ago, and then this planet just built this gigantic space something, and so the Krill basically show up because the Krill are going to blow this thing up. They say, we don't know what it is. Looks like it's probably a weapon. We don't want to wait to find out if it is or not. We're going to blow it up. Of course, the Orville says, let us go and deal with it. Let's investigate. If it is a weapon, yes, we will help you blow it up. So that's where they're going. So our team goes down to the planet. Of course, they forget, we forgot to pick names again, which I just love. It's such an interesting trope there. They keep on forgetting, we should probably figure out what we should call ourselves when we get to this planet, because that just keeps on happening to them. And we see that, they're basically, since this planet has left the Union, they brought back money. Nobody has replicators anymore. Like, the entire economy is collapsing. It's got some weird old guy who's been the leader for the past 2 years. He's afraid of outsiders and aliens. destroying their way of life. So, yeah, that's that. And it looks like it is a big old super weapon. So, we're going to see what happens in next issue. The Krill are already getting ready to blow up the Orville if the Orville gets in their way. It's exciting. It's wonderful. And it's, it's light and funny, but also dramatic. And I'm loving my Orville books. So, that was a good one I read this week.
All right, Lilith Hellfire, you're up.
Something that I haven't really been picking up a lot of Dark Horse lately, so I kind of made it a thing this week. That's why I kind of glanced past the Orville. I was like, And then I decided on Alien, the original screenplay number. I got number 1 and number 2, but number 2 was out this week. I love the movie. I love the trilogy. I love that. I don't like that prequel stuff, but I love the original. So I picked it up.
I totally forgot that came out. I need to go get that.
Yes, it's awesome. It's a $4 book and it's worth every bit of it. The art by Guillermo Balbi is just absolutely spectacular. It gives you like this gothic horror kind of body gore vibe. I'm totally into that. So yeah.
What is it? What is it?
Is that the one that ends with the alien like impersonating Ripley?
What?
Well, I know that was one of the original endings in the script was...
Yeah, they're playing around with all the different kind of endings, apparently. Okay. Is what the whole premise of that is, but yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, because that's the one I know of is like after Ripley is killed, then the alien like takes over her ship and just, radios in and said, "This is Ripley."
Yeah. So yeah, they're playing with all those ideas. I just love if you ever like get a chance, you should watch like the making of those movies. There's just a lot of interesting things that I consider canon because that's what it was originally meant to be. And you can see some of the like things that they tried to do in the following iterations in this graphic novel. Well, this comic book is just amazing, and as a fan, it's just good. And I think you should pick it up if you're a fan of the franchise.
Okay. One more from our indie books.
I forgot to get this one.
Transformers: My Little Ponies. Friendship in Disguise.
They didn't have any at mine, and I didn't want to go to the second one because I didn't want to.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, it's a great fun read. This one, our first story, because because every book has 2 stories. First story follows Spike, who's back in
from the cliffhanger.
Yeah, so he's in the Ark, which is the spaceship in the side of the mountain. Which is weird because the last time they came from Cybertron to Equestria, but somehow Spike didn't go to Cybertron when he came over. He went to Earth. And the only Autobot there is, of course, Grimlock, and he's really admiring Grimlock because he's a big dragon, and you know how Spike is. And he's very, very impressed by him. And then the Constructicons come. Of course, Spike says, so they build things, so they're good? And it's like, no, they're not good. And... basically, Grimlock beats up the Constructicons until they become Devastator. Then the tables turn. And so Spike basically teaches himself intro to Cybertronian and basic programming of their ships. And then fires the rockets to knock down Devastator. And then, basically Grimlock tells him, you did great. You're a mighty warrior and you're very smart and you're still growing. And I'm very impressed by what you're going to become. And that made Spike feel very good about himself. And then, I don't know who Gage is, but apparently Pinkie Pie has a cooking show now called Preppin' with Pinkie, which actually sounds like it's some kind of weird survivalist thing. But,
I mean, in this climate, if it was, that'd be awesome.
But, so she's making cupcakes, and Gage, I don't know who Gage is, but it's the newest Cybertronian there, so basically brings Cybertronian food, which is like iron filings and such. But anyway, of course, then Shockwave shows up, and Shockwave wants to convert ponies into Energon. Sure. And they battle, but of course they defeat it, and then... Gage and Pinkie Pie save the day. And next week is Fluttershy. So, and she's got all the animal ones. I love Fluttershy. She's so sweet.
Ooh.
Still haven't gotten Applejack yet, though. So, waiting on that.
That was issue 2, right?
Oh yeah, that was Transformers and My Little Pony issue 2.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. So, hey, Black Widow #1 came out this week.
How was that?
It was good. I mean, they set up a mystery. I mean, she gets attacked in the beginning, and then she seems to like kind of have like a normal life towards the end of it. And Winter Soldier and Hawkeye are coming to investigate because they see her on the news, and it's
they're gonna mess it up for everybody.
Well, they're like
they're
like she's not on an undercover mission because she wouldn't let herself be seen on TV. And then of course there's like a mysterious figure, but oh no, stay tuned in October because I believe Charlie Esser and myself are going to be talking to Kelly Thompson because when I emailed her, I wanted to know if she wanted to talk after this one came out, like this week or next week. She goes, "Why don't we wait for issue 2?" So I have a feeling something big's coming in issue 2, maybe some answers or so. But she was like, "Yeah, let's hold off to issue 2." So,
well, that's good.
Yeah, so stay tuned for Comic
friend
Capers.
of the show. You forgot to add that.
What?
That's friend of the
friend
show.
of the show.
Yes, friend of the show, Kelly Thompson. One of the many interviews we have coming up within the next month or so.
Yep. People love talking to us. Get them to spill the beans.
We're fair unless your name is Bendis for the most part.
Oh, hey, hey! Respect is a two-way street.
Bendis.
Let's see what else. Oh, hey. Batman 98, we got a Punchline Harley round 2, and
I did read that one.
Harley was smacking Charlie Esser. She didn't kill her, but Harley was smacking her around. So
I do appreciate that. You know, I know Batman comes in at the end and saves the day, but
he's just watching the cat fight going for a little bit, you know.
Yeah,
as you do.
Well, he likes cat fights.
This real quick about this book. I feel like this should have been a one-shot that was like Harley versus Punchline. I don't think it should have been in the main Batman story almost. Because I feel
Harley
like
and Batman are synonymous. They do share a day now, you know.
I'm just like, for the overarching Joker War story, I felt like, yes, the information we got about Batman and Alfred was good, but I felt like it was, I don't know, like for a chapter of like this supposed to be this magnitude, this felt more like a one-off than it felt like actually being part of the continual overarching story.
It's just weird. Right. Like all the parts of this Joker War, it's like half of them you don't even know where they take place. Like
Like I read the Red Hood one, you know, and I've been reading the Batgirl and the Nightwing stuff too, and I'm like, yeah, all this feels so disconjointed.
The Batgirl stuff really seems out of place because like she like injures the Joker. I mean, they basically injure each other, but it's like in every other book, Joker's not injured. So it's like, where the hell does this book take place at?
Right. So it's been really, you know,
unless it's a 3 Jokers thing.
No, that's a whole.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
Because 3 Jokers thing. Yeah, well, it'll be a fun conversation once that book is finished because it's very loosely in continuity, as I take it from my message I received from Mr. Fabok. So I'm like, yeah. I look at it like it takes place during the issue of DC Rebirth.
I feel like he has to say that because I have noticed a lot of critics and fans saying they feel bamboozled because they don't know where it lies within the continuity. They feel like it's been a bait and switch. So I don't know. I would take that with a grain of salt.
Once all 3 of those come out, we might have to do a special, you know, call it.
Definitely.
Question for you,
damage report.
Since you're the all-knowing Phil, the great powerful, much like Oz himself. When Killing Joke first came out, it was not continuity, right? It was like a side story, right? So this was the conversation I was having with Brian and James because I was like, when Killing Joke came out, it wasn't part of the main continuity. Yeah, it was later like kind of retconned into it.
Well, yeah, I don't think they ever
shoved in for a cash grab.
Well, it wasn't planned, and then people started referencing it in the regular books, and so it's like, oh, I guess it is continuity.
So that's kind of how I feel about like with 3 Jokers is going to be one of those things that it doesn't fit perfectly, but we'll find a way to kind of, in our minds, retcon it into continuity, especially if it takes place right before Rebirth, because in the issue of Rebirth, it's the 3 Jokers is mentioned, and then I think that maybe the last reference to it for a while, because then kind of like in the exact way how we're still trying to figure out exactly when Doomsday Clock took place
Oh, Lord,
in a lot of stories, but in a lot of stories, but yet it's supposed to be in canon, in continuity.
Yeah.
Two continuities ago.
Yeah, because like the first time I remember them mentioning Killing Joke is like I think Death in the first part of Death in the Family. Yeah, Joker's on the loose again, and Batman and Gordon are meeting, and Gordon's saying, "Oh yeah, everyone wants a piece of the Joker after what he did to Barbara," and it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You know what's weird is, do you think that all the layoffs at DC is partially because of the mismanagement at DC, where there just has been so much where, like, Warner Books coming out, oh, this thing is going to be central, but we're going to take like 2 years to make it. That should have been done.
Well, that was Dido's fault, to be fair.
Well, yeah, but I know it's someone's fault, but do you think that, like, Warner's just said there's like,
no, Warner's is just Warner's. It's what they do when they
you've
take
got
over
all these
companies.
people, and you still can't get a book out on time. Maybe you guys need to think smaller.
Did you say 2 years? No, Killing Joke was like 4 years.
No, not Killing Joke, but like any of these.
Oh no,
things.
3 Jokers. I mean,
Three Jokers,
yeah.
3 Jokers, 4 years.
3 Jokers, Doomsday Clock, all these things. I don't read them. I just know from what you guys say that they're delayed, constantly delayed.
12 issues of Doomsday Clock took what, Tyler, 2 or 3 years?
A little over
almost,
2 years.
Yeah, and it's not even like they had COVID to blame it on.
No.
This is all pre-COVID.
DC was running kind of fast and loose under Dido for a while. A lot of issues under him. But no, that's just kind of what AT&T does when they get new companies. They kind of like sit back and let you, dig your own grave, and then they go, oh, everybody out.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Lilith, I got I can sell you on Batman 98. Batman's like tripping on Joker juice and stuff, and he's basically hallucinating.
Until they just shut up and kiss, I don't.
Well, no. He's hallucinating Alfred, like giving him this pep talk, and at one point he's like, "I failed."
Until Batman and Joker just shut up and kiss and get married, I don't care.
Lilith, shut up. No, he's hallucinating, like Alfred's giving this pep talk, and then Bruce is like, "I failed," and Alfred's like, "No, damn it!" and he slaps him across the face, all Gotham style.
Yeah.
Oh,
this is just his hallucination that he's doing.
I said it.
Or is that really Alfred?
No, it's an hallucination now.
Yeah.
Supposedly he's still
or
dead.
Is it?
But you,
exactly.
But you people got me to say it again.
Come on, Phil. Come on, Phil. Say God.
Yeah, I had actually forgotten that Alfred's supposed to be dead again right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's not dead in 3 Jokers.
Well, who knows when that takes place.
Yeah, he's an Osborn. He's just in Europe.
Well, that's the other thing with Damian. I mean, even Batman's subconscious is saying that in this issue. It's like, you kind of still blame Damian for Alfred's death because, Bane was like holding Gotham hostage. He says, if you or any of your people enter the city, I'm gonna, he had Alfred. He's like, I'm gonna kill Alfred if any of you come in. And guess who goes into Gotham anyway? Damian.
Damian. He's a punk kid.
Yep.
Oh, and Batman Day is going to be really lame this year, and they really screwed the comic book shops on Batman Day, too. So, DC being DC.
It's gotten lamer.
Well, social distancing.
Even last year, it was lame. They didn't do anything. And
they need to stop moving it. Either it's going to be the 15th, or it's going to be the 19th on Adam West's birthday. One of the two. Make it consistent. Make something in your DC life consistent, for the love of God, please. And on that note,
do you know what was good this week?
What?
Bitterroot 10.
Well,
all right.
Yeah.
Talk about Beirut. I have to go. My daughter calleth for me.
Yeah, you go. You go take care of Red Hood Jr.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks,
Good having you.
So yeah, this is the final chapter in the second big arc. It says end of book 2 when you get to it. And it is very cool. We get some I don't want to give too many spoilers because there is a lot that goes on in it, but we have we get the complete origin of Mr. Sylvester. He plays a central part in defeating it. We have this whole thing here. This is David F. Walker put this on his Facebook saying this is my favorite scene, and it's I'm forgetting her name right now, but essentially what has happened is, we've introduced that there's the multiple different families. There's the Chinese families, there's the black families, there's the Irish families, and they all battle different kinds of demons. And what they're kind of coming to understand is that, all of these demons are now sort of teaming up to work together, and the demons infecting the African American community, all of a sudden the people that are possessed are writing these Chinese symbols, basically inviting the god of destruction into Harlem. So it's getting really exciting. And, she basically just says, we can't constantly be fighting over, what our territory and what's your territory. We all need to fight. And that is essentially what the big theme of this all is we all have to band together, that there are these forces that are trying to destroy us and tear us apart. And unless we work together, we will not defeat them. We get a real, it's nice with our little white boy. He, he's trying to, get, oh man, I'm trying to remember everybody's names here. And it's like, we had this little break here, but he gets stabbed by Adro, devours his soul. And it's sad, and he's like, "Oh yes, I taste all those wonderful things: the fear, the anger, the distrust, and just that hint of hope. That little spice." But it is beautiful, fantastic artwork, fantastic story. Pick up Bitterroot. You should be reading it.
All right, so should we wrap it there?
Yeah.
Sure.
Wolf is getting sober. Anyway, yes.
What? I was sober the whole time.
I know. For once, I know. So yes, hey, if anyone's watching this, especially for the first time because of our Chadwick Boseman talk, please get a hold of us. Hey, send us some positivity. What positive way did Chadwick Boseman affect your life? Or hey, just send us what comics you're enjoying or what you're watching. Let's come on. The internet's dark these days. Let's spread some positivity. So email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel where you can watch this video. Links to our Patreon where we talk all things Star Trek, merchandise, everything all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And remember to support our sponsors, Tweaked Audio. Get yourself some headphones. Hunt-A-Killer. Yes.
Help Michelle Gray needs your help.
That's right. And use the coupon code Southgate for either one of those. Get yourself a nice discount. And then go pick up Pod Life the book, Volume 1, now digital and paperback. Learn the ins and outs of podcasting from the experts and myself and Rob Southgate. And when you go get that on Amazon or anything else, use the code for Southgate Media Group. Use the link right down there in the show notes. Help us support this show, the Southgate Media Group Network. And is he a madman? Is he a hero? I don't know, but help us support Rob, Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain, so says Master Doom. Please kick me in the pants.
Lilith Hellfire. oh, wait. You wanted that one? Okay.
Yeah.
Lilith.
If you nerds want to hang out with me on the interwebs over this long 3-day weekend, feel free to find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire, on Instagram at Lilith Hellfire 86, or at Lilith Hellfire 69.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Charlie Esser.
And if you'd like to write to me in that old-fashioned email way that our moms and pops once did, do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. Of course, follow me on Twitter as I live tweet something, anything. Maybe, although those just ended, but maybe I realized that on Saturdays, that's when the new Amphibia and Owl House comes out. So maybe when those come back, I might start live tweeting those Saturday nights at Charlie Esser. That's CHARLIE ESSER. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing! Alrighty. So, guess we can do some music now. Thank you for joining us. For another week, we have been your capes.
Ampersand.
Lunatics. Nice and somber.
Yeah.
And nice.
It's been a rough go.
2020.
Yep.
It's almost over, guys.
2020, suck it.
Just get us through November.
Oh, just let the asteroid hit.
You know,
can we just put
that asteroid? It's just teasing us.
It's waiting for the election. But yeah, in the history books, can we put an asterisk next to 2020?
This does not count the lost year. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just. Well, let's just hope 2021 isn't worse.
All right. We're coming to the ending. All right, everyone, let's do it.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
Chadwick Boseman forever.